Sister laughed at my inheritance of cookbooks, then we discovered the hidden fortune inside. Emma stood in her kitchen, surrounded by the warm scent of cinnamon and the clatter of busy little feet. Her daughter, Lily, twirled around, the sunlight catching on her golden curls, while her son, Max, hopped about like a bouncing ball of energy. Life was chaotic yet beautiful. But today was different. Today, the stale air of sadness lingered, and memories swept through her like a cool breeze. They had lost Grandma just weeks ago. When Emma inherited her grandmother's old collection of cookbooks, she felt the weight of history on her shoulders. The cookbooks were dusty, worn, and bound with love. As Emma opened the first, she could almost hear her grandmother's melodic laughter dancing in her ears. Each page whispered stories of resilience, nourishing both the body and spirit. But when her sister, Laura, arrived with a raised eyebrow and a dismissive smirk, Emma's heart sank. "Ugh, look at this mess," Laura scoffed, flipping through the brittle pages. "How much do you think these are worth?" To her, it was all about numbers and figures, nothing about the warmth of home-cooked meals or the love that filled the diner Grandma had run for decades. Emma felt a pang of frustration. "These books are so much more than just recipes," she said, her voice trembling with emotion. But Laura's laughter echoed in her ears as she thumbed through the yellowed pages, only searching for the dollar signs. As Emma ventured deeper into the cookbooks, she discovered handwritten notes tucked between recipes. "Always add a pinch of love," one read. Others contained life lessons, gems of wisdom shared in short, scribbled lines. Images of Grandma, apron-clad, beaming joyfully as she served up steaming plates filled with comfort, brought tears to Emma's eyes. It wasn't just food these pages held their family's heart. Then came the moment that changed everything. Her fingers brushed against a strange seam in one of the volumes, and with trembling hands, she pulled apart the old pages to reveal a hidden compartment. Inside, nestled within velvet, lay rare coins and jewelry, heirlooms, treasure worth a fortune. Emma's heart raced. "Laura, look!" she exclaimed, her dreams of a secure future rushing in like the tide. But then the reality of what this discovery meant hit like a wave. Would it drive them apart? Laura's gaze shifted from the coins back to Emma with a calculating look, and the tension in the air thickened. "We should sell these," she said, her voice devoid of warmth. Emma's heart ached. "You don't get it, do you? This is our family's legacy." Their grandmother's love had built a community, not just a bank account. "Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Days turned into sleepless nights as Emma wrestled with the weight of their inheritance. The tension between her and Laura intensified, with passionate debates that exposed their wounded hearts. Each word felt like a dagger in the air, past grievances bubbling to the surface. Yet through the kitchen window, Emma noticed the neighborhood kids gathering, laughing and playing. The warmth of community seeped into her thoughts. Suddenly, an idea struck. "What if we opened Grandma's diner again?" she suggested one evening, her voice a mixture of nervousness and hope. It could be a place of togetherness, just like before. Standing on the brink of something beautiful, she looked at Laura and saw a flicker of curiosity amidst the skepticism. Would her sister join her in this journey of healing? Laura's expression was a mix of surprise and doubt. Emma felt her pulse quicken as she stared at her sister, searching for a hint of agreement. "We could honor Grandma's memory," Emma pressed, her voice softening. "Remember the laughter, the stories shared over her dishes? We can bring that back." For a moment, silence hung between them, heavy with unspoken words. But then, Laura crossed her arms, her gaze wavering. "Opening a diner? That's a big commitment. Are you even sure there's enough left of Grandma's spirit in that old place?" Her words felt like a shield, pushing Emma back into the realm of doubt. "I know it sounds crazy," Emma insisted, stepping closer. But if we can infuse it with love, it could be more than just a business. It could be our way to heal, to connect again. Max's voice piped up from the living room, breaking the tension. Can we have pancakes, Mommy? With strawberries. His bright eyes sparkled, and his innocence lit a small flame of hope in Emma. She turned back to Laura, her heart racing. Imagine how happy that would make people just like Grandma used to do. Laura sighed, running a hand through her hair as though trying to untangle her thoughts. I'm not sure, Emma. When they closed it down, it felt like the end of a chapter. The shadows in her eyes betrayed a deeper grief, one they both shared. What if we write a new one? Emma's words hung in the air, inviting but slightly trembling. We can preserve the legacy and find our way back to each other, to our families, our friends, to the community. Laura stared down at her feet, caught in a web of memories. Emma could sense the moment she cracked, just slightly. It wouldn't be the same she began, but Emma wasn't ready to back down. Maybe it could be better. Emma pulled out the old diner brochures they used to pass out. We can revamp it. Add special nights, host events, share stories Grandma would have loved. Like what? Laura asked, her voice softer now, curiosity spilling through the cracks of her former resistance. Cooking classes. Family nights. We could even host community potlucks. Each dish can tell a story of our family. It'll be a place where everyone belongs. Emma's excitement bubbled over as she spoke. Just think about it, people sharing recipes, memories, all the things Grandma valued. Laura's eyes sparkled at the thought of community gathering, but still, fear flickered in her gaze. And what happens if it fails? It's not just a love letter to Grandma, it's a risk. Emma felt her heart drop. What if Laura was right? But then she thought about their grandmother's laughter, the way her heart always centered around family. It's a risk I'm willing to take, she confessed. But I need you with me, Laura. We can do this together. As they locked eyes, something shifted. The chill of doubt began to thaw ever so slightly. Laura's lips formed a reluctant smile, hinting at the possibility they once laughed about in the warmth of that little diner. Fine, she said, her voice growing stronger. Let us give it a shot. But we better make some fantastic pancakes. Emma's face lit up with relief and joy. You won't regret it. We'll do this together. It was a small step, barely an ember igniting, but it was a step toward healing, toward reconnecting, and maybe just maybe reviving what they thought was lost forever. Suddenly, Emma's phone buzzed, startling them both. It was a text from Mrs. Adler, their old neighbor. Just heard about your Grandma's cookbooks. We'd be so excited for Grandma's diner to open again. Looks like the community is already behind us, Laura said, a glimmer of hope in her voice. And just as they began to brainstorm plans for the diner, Emma couldn't shake the feeling that something much larger was about to unfold. Something from Grandma's legacy they hadn't yet uncovered. What else lay hidden in the pages of those cookbooks, and how might it change their lives forever? Emma's heart raced as she stared at the screen, Mrs. Adler's words spinning in her mind. Excitement bubbled beneath her skin, mingling with a sense of urgency. She tapped her foot on the hardwood floor, the sound echoing in the quiet house. Did you see that, Laura? The community is already excited. This could be, I don't know, a sign? Laura nodded slowly, her skepticism tempered by the hint of possibility that danced in the air. You think we can really do this? Her voice wavered, still testing the waters of their shared dream. Definitely. Let us meet with Mrs. Adler. She could help us rally more support, get people on board. Emma felt flames of inspiration ignite within her, driving her forward. They could turn those cookbooks into a bridge between their past and a future full of hope. All right, Laura sighed, a smile breaking through. Let us do it. I'll dig out Grandma's old recipe box. Maybe there are hidden gems there, too. The thought of sifting through aged cards not only filled Laura with nostalgia but also stirred a flicker of excitement. As they gathered their grandmother's cherished cookbooks and ancient recipe notes from the attic, memories flooded back. The scent of cinnamon spilled through the air. Emma could hear their grandmother's laughter ringing through the kitchen, envisioning flour-covered aprons and the infectious joy that would fill the room whenever they baked those recipes together. "Look at this!" Laura exclaimed, holding up a faded pink index card with spidery handwriting. "Grandma's famous strawberry shortcake. We have to get this one right. I remember the way she always topped it with whipped cream just before serving it to us." Emma leaned in to read it. "We can serve this during our grand opening." The thought of bringing even a piece of that memory into their new diner made her heart sing. While Laura flipped through more cards, Emma carefully opened a cookbook she hadn't seen in years. Nestled in the pages was a handwritten note, delicately folded. Curiosity pierced through her excitement as she unfolded it. "Laura, come check this out." Emma's heart dropped as she read. "To my beloved granddaughters, if you're reading this, then my treasure is yet to be found." What? Laura scrambled over. "What treasure? Listen to this. It seems like Grandma hid something special for us to find." Emma's voice trembled with anticipation. Laura's eyes widened. "Like money? Jewelry?" She stepped closer, her skepticism edged with intrigue as Emma continued reading. "She talks about family legacies and the importance of sharing love and an old family recipe that holds secrets of her past," Emma finished. "She says it leads to a hidden treasure that could bring us the happiness we seek." "I can't believe it. Treasure? This doesn't sound like Grandma at all." Laura paused, her expression shifting. "Do you think she meant the diner? Or is it something else?" Emma bit her lip, her heart racing faster. What if it's hidden in the old diner itself? The thought sent a thrill through them both. They were pulling the covers off something much bigger than just bacon or pancakes. What if their journey to revive the diner wasn't just about food, but about uncovering their family's history? "Let us plan a trip to the diner tomorrow," Emma proposed, her fingers trembling with excitement. "It's time to explore Grandma's legacy more deeply." A sudden knock on the door startled them. It was Max, clutching a few construction paper sheets filled with scribbles and drawings. "Look, Mommy. I made a menu for our diner." Emma knelt down, her heart swelling with pride. "What do you have there, buddy?" "See? Pancakes, pasta, pies," he announced, grinning from ear to ear. The innocence of his excitement was infectious. "Perfect, Max. We're going to need lots of help," Emma said, feeling the weight of their shared dreams all at once. They had something special to chase, something that connected past and future together. As Emma thought about the treasure yet to be found and the challenges they were ready to face, a new sense of purpose washed over her. But deep down, a lingering question stirred within her. What if Grandma's treasure had a greater purpose, one that could redefine everything they thought they knew about family and legacy? With that thought looming, Emma took a deep breath, ready to uncover the truth. What awaited them in the diner could change everything. The sun peeked through the windows the next morning, sending rays of warm light cascading into Emma's kitchen. As she sipped her coffee, she felt nervous energy buzzing through her veins. Today was the day they would head to the old diner, where Grandma's legacy awaited. "Max, are you ready?" she called, tapping her fingers on the countertop, the coffee cup cradled in her hand. "I'm ready. Is the treasure hidden already?" He zipped around the living room, his little feet pattering loudly against the hardwood floor, excitement radiating from him in waves. Laura walked in, a small backpack slung over her shoulder. "Did you pack the recipe box?" "Of course. I also brought some snacks to keep our energy up while we search," Emma replied, her heart fluttering at the thought of uncovering family secrets tucked away in the diner's walls. They climbed into Emma's car, with Max in the back seat excitedly reciting the new menu he'd created. His innocent enthusiasm made them giggle, a perfect distraction from the nervous tension building in Emma's chest. As they drove closer to the diner, memories flooded back: family gatherings, laughter, the smell of bacon sizzling in the morning. The diner had always been a symbol of comfort, a connection to their childhood, but now it felt more significant. Today was not just about resurrecting a business, it was about uncovering layers of history. Look! It's still there. Max shouted, pointing excitedly as they pulled into the diner's parking lot. The neon sign flickered, its vibrant colors now more muted but still alive with memories. Emma parked the car, her hands shaking slightly as she opened the door. The scent of dust and fading paint wafted through the air, enveloping her. Let South make this place shine again. They all stepped inside, immediately feeling the weight of the past. Sunlight danced through the windows, illuminating dusty tabletops and worn-out booths. Emma felt a slight chill, a sense of watching and waiting, as if the diner itself were alive, eager for them to uncover the stories hidden within. Let us split up and explore, Laura suggested, her voice echoing in the quiet space. Emma nodded, taking a deep breath. I'll check behind the counter. Max, why don't you look around the booths? And Laura, see if there are any clues in the storage room? They agreed and set off in different directions. Emma shuffled behind the counter, running her fingers over the familiar surfaces. She opened drawers filled with dusty utensils and old receipts, each item a tether to the past. Nothing here, she mumbled, frustration tinging her voice. Just as she was about to turn away, something glinted beneath the counter. Curious, she knelt down to investigate. It was a small metallic key, its surface tarnished but surprisingly beautiful with intricate designs engraved onto it. Emma's heart raced. This must be it, this has to lead to Grandma's treasure. Did you find something? Laura's voice broke through her thoughts as she entered the room, a small stack of forgotten cookbooks in her hands. Emma held up the key, excitement bubbling inside her. I found this. It might unlock something special, but what? Laura's eyes sparkled with anticipation. Maybe it opens a hidden compartment or an old safe? We need to figure out where it goes. Max reappeared, holding a stack of dusty menus. Look, Mommy. This one says today's specials. Emma grinned at him. Perfect. Let us see if any of them hold the secret. As they gathered around the counter, paging through old menus and recipes, a sense of unity washed over them. They were not just piecing together a business but also weaving together threads of family history. But the most pressing question hung in the air: what door did the key unlock? With each tick of the clock, Emma felt the weight of their task pressing down. They hadn't just come for recipes, they were here to bridge the past with the future, to uncover a treasure that felt as intangible as it was real. Suddenly, loud creaks echoed through the diner, as if the old building were settling around them, or perhaps whispering. Secrets forgotten. Emma exchanged glances with Laura and Max, a mix of excitement and trepidation swirling within her. Let us find out, she whispered, the key clenched tightly in her hand. We're one step closer to uncovering Grandma's mystery. The lingering question loomed large: what could possibly await them behind doors long left closed? Emma's heart pounded in her chest as she looked around the diner, the key feeling heavy in her palm. Where could this lead? She thought, her mind racing with possibilities. She glanced at Laura and Max, their faces filled with wonder and a hint of anxiety. Maybe their essay safe in the back? Or a hidden compartment? Laura suggested, her voice low and hopeful. Let us check the old storage room, Emma replied eagerly. The thought of hidden treasures sent a thrill of adrenaline coursing through her. They made their way to the back of the diner, Emma leading the way. Max walked closely behind, still clutching a menu. What if it's filled with gold coins, like pirates? His eyes sparkled with wild imagination. If it is, we'll have to buy a huge ice cream sundae, Emma said, chuckling. Their laughter echoed through the narrow hallway, cutting through the dust-laden air. Once inside the cramped storage room, they were greeted by the sight of forgotten scattered items, the remnants of years gone by. Old boxes were piled haphazardly, each filled with memories. Faded aprons hung on a hook, and there was a vintage soda machine that had long stopped humming. Help me move this box, Emma said, her voice filled with determination. She pushed aside a stack of old cardboard boxes. Together, they cleared a path, finally exposing a section of wall that looked slightly different than the rest. "What is that?" Laura pointed, her curiosity piqued. Emma stepped closer, brushing dust off the wood. "It looks like some sort of door." In the center of the wall was a small door, barely noticeable. "Do you think it leads to something?" Max asked, eyes wide. Emma held the key up, its surface reflecting the soft light. "Only one way to find out." Her voice was steady, despite the whirlwind of emotions inside her. She approached the door, and the air felt charged, almost expectant. She inserted the key into the lock. It fit perfectly, and with a soft click, the door swung open. A small room revealed itself, dark and untouched, with a peculiar scent of old wood and something else, something sweet, like vanilla. "Wow," Max whispered, stepping inside. The trio stepped into the small space. It was lined with shelves, filled with jars and containers, each glowing with promise. Emma reached up to grab the closest jar. As she pulled it free, dust cascaded down like tiny stars shimmering in the air. "What's inside?" Max's curious voice broke the silence, his little hands reaching out. Emma peered inside the jar. "It's spices. Look at all of these." She was incredulous. Each jar was labeled with neat writing: cumin, cinnamon, paprika, and, to her surprise, there was even a jar of Grandma's famous vanilla extract. "This is unbelievable. Maybe Grandma stored her secret recipe inspiration here," Emma exclaimed, her voice a mix of joy and nostalgia. Before they could delve deeper, they heard a sudden noise from outside. A voice interrupted their moment. "What are you kids doing in there?" The voice was gruff, startling them. Emma whipped around. A man stood in the doorway, arms crossed, an eyebrow raised. "This place is closed. You can't just be walking around like that." Their hearts raced, responses caught in their throats. Max clutched Emma's leg, his excitement fading into fear. "We're just exploring," Laura stammered, glancing at Emma for support, determination shining in her eyes. The man's expression softened slightly, curiosity flickering behind his stern demeanor. "Exploring, huh? This place has some tough stories." Emma felt a rush of both dread and hope. Who was this man? Did he know more about the diner's secrets? As the kids stood there, uncertainty churning within them, Emma clenched the jar tightly. "No, we're not finished yet. We just discovered something amazing." The man shifted, intrigued. "Is this something worth telling?" With excitement bubbling again, Emma exchanged a glance with Laura. They could uncover more than just recipes. They might uncover stories waiting to be told. "Just wait," Emma said, determination rising anew. "This is just the beginning. What other mysteries lay hidden within this diner? And what truths awaited beyond the shadows?" The man leaned against the doorframe, crossing his arms tighter. The dim light from the storage room flickered, adding a dramatic air to the moment as the tension hung thick in the air. "Well, I hope you kids understand that some things are best left alone. This diner." He paused, glancing around as if trying to remember something buried in his own past. "It's been part of the town's history for ages. There are stories in these walls, but they come at a price." Emma felt a chill run down her spine. She glanced at Laura and Max, their eyes still wide with wonder but now marred by fear. "What do you mean?" she asked, keeping her voice steady. The man took a step closer, the floor creaking beneath him. "There was a time when this place was full of life, laughter. But changes came, and secrets were buried here. There are things that happened inside and outside these walls that you might not want to uncover." Emma's heart raced, caught between curiosity and caution. "But what if those secrets are beautiful? What if they can help us?" His face softened even more. "Beautiful or not, they belong to the past. Sometimes, memories aren't just dusty jars, they're ghosts waiting to be released. Are you sure you want to dig deeper?" Emma looked back at the jars lined against the wall, their labels still shining amid the dust. She felt an overwhelming urge to protect that spark of discovery. We have to see what's in there. It could be Grandma's recipe book. The man sighed softly. Your grandmother, she was one of the best cooks this town ever had. That much I know. A wave of nostalgia flitted across his features. I used to come here for her pies. Everyone did. Then you understand why we want to know more. Laura stepped forward, her eyes pleading. There must be something we can learn. About the diner and Grandma. Learning can sometimes lead you down a dark path, he warned, though his posture softened. But maybe, just maybe, it's time someone told those stories. What's your name? Emma asked, edging closer with newfound bravery. Call me Sam, he replied, a flicker of a smile crossing his lips. I used to work here back in the day. Then you can help us. Max piped in, his small voice cutting through the heaviness. You can be our guide. Sam chuckled lightly. All right, but you must promise to respect what you uncover. These stories are better shared, not acted upon lightly. Emma felt warmth spread in her chest at his words. We promise. With a nod, Sam stepped inside the small room, opening a box nearby. Let us see what you found then. He carefully opened the lid and rummaged through miscellaneous items until he pulled out an old, leather-bound book. Its spine was cracked, and dust flew into the air as he placed it gently on the table. Emma's mouth fell open. This wasn't just any book, this looked like a recipe collection, scribbled on yellowed pages. That's it. That might be the key to everything. As Sam began to flip through the pages, revealing faded sketches and notes, Emma felt a surge of excitement. They were just a page away from discovering something special. However, just as the first recipe was revealed, a loud clang echoed from outside. The sound shattered their moment, and they exchanged nervous glances. What was that? Laura asked, eyes darting to the door. Sam's expression shifted back to worry. Stay close. We might not be alone here. Emma's heart raced again, but this time with a mingling of fear and excitement. What had they stumbled into? Was there more to uncover than just Grandma's secret recipes? A shadow flitted past the window, and Emma's breath hitched. What if there's someone else who wants this too? As the shadow receded, the realization started to dawn on them. They weren't just uncovering the past, they might be awakening something that was meant to stay hidden. What truly awaited them behind those stories and secrets? And could they handle the truth? The book lay open on the table, its yellowed pages promising stories long untold. Emma's hands trembled with anticipation as she leaned closer, but curiosity collided with trepidation in her gut. The clang from outside still echoed like a warning bell. She could feel a weight pressing against her chest, the thrill of discovery mingling with the fear of what they might awaken. Emma, Laura whispered, glancing toward the door. Maybe we shouldn't know, Emma insisted. What if just give me a second, Sam interrupted, his voice low. He moved cautiously to the window, peering out into the darkness. I'll check it out. Emma's heart raced as she watched him move like he was walking into the unknown. She wanted to scream, to urge him not to go, yet she was also captivated by that hint of adventure in the air. This was the diner that had held their grandmother's laughter, the place brick by brick where stories resided. What secrets did it hold? Max, clutching Emma's arm tightly, looked up at her. What if it's someone bad? Then we'll be ready. She tried to sound brave, but doubt crept in. With Sam by the window, the gap of time stretched long and thin. The shadows seemed to dance outside, twisting and turning in a way that made chill bumps rise on her arms. Finally, Sam turned back, a flicker of concern lurking behind his eyes. Well, it's nothing, yet. But it's best we keep it down. There are people out there, and I'm not sure what they're after. Do you think they want the book? Laura asked, her voice barely a whisper. Sam shrugged, the lines on his face deepening. I'm afraid it leads to more than just recipes. Sometimes, things are linked in ways we don't understand. Emma swallowed hard, a flicker of unease washing over her. The book held their grandmother's legacy. It might even be a treasure trove of love, but there was also something layered beneath those cherished pages that felt ominous. What if the secrets are dangerous? She murmured, more to herself than anyone else. Better to find out together, Sam said. He clasped his hands on the table, urging them to come around. If you're still willing to dive deeper, let us start with what we have. Open your hearts, but stay grounded. Looking down at the book, Emma felt a surge of determination swell inside her. Let us do it. We have to know. As they crowded around the table, Sam gently turned the pages, revealing faded handwriting alongside sketches of the diner's original decor and dishes. One recipe caught Emma's eye, maple pecan pie written in delicate loops. It was her grandmother's favorite. This is amazing, Laura exclaimed, leaning in closer to get a better look. I can almost hear her voice, but just as Emma was about to respond, another loud bang resounded in the distance, reverberating through the diner. It made everyone jump, fear pooling in their stomachs. Sam froze, maintaining a keen focus on the door. What was that? It sounded closer. Max squeaked, eyes wide with fright. Stay quiet, Sam instructed, lowering his voice. Let us wait and listen. They fell silent, the air thick with tension, hearts thumping loudly in their chests. From the darkness outside, a figure emerged, half hidden by shadows, moving with a purpose. Emma didn't take her eyes off the door, a mix of dread and urgency flooding her veins. What do they want? She whispered nervously. I don't know, Sam said, his voice trembling slightly, but it's time to find out. Suddenly, the door burst open, revealing not just a figure but an entire group of them, faces marked with a mix of curiosity and intention. Their eyes locked on the book as if it were a beacon. Emma gasped, the realization crashing over her like a tidal wave. They were not alone, their search for the past might just lead to a reckoning. What have we awakened? Emma whispered, truly frightened for the first time. As the chilling realization settled in, something told her this was just the beginning. Would they be able to safeguard the secrets of the diner, their grandmother's legacy, and even more so, their own hearts? With the strangers now in the room, the air thickened with unease. Emma could feel it in her bones. This night was far from over. What other surprises lay hidden within the pages of that beloved book? The door swung wide, the cold night air rushing in, tangling with the warmth of the diner's interior. Emma's heart hammered wildly, every instinct screaming for her to flee or fight. The newcomers stepped forward, their faces illuminated briefly by the flickering lights above. There were 6 of them, all wearing dark coats, with anxious expressions painted across their features. Who are you? Sam demanded, taking a protective stance in front of Emma and the others. His voice cut through the thick tension, echoing off the diner walls. The group exchanged glances, measuring their response. A tall woman at the front, with tangled dark hair and piercing blue eyes, finally spoke. We're not here to hurt anyone. We just came for the book. Emma's breath caught. The book. It felt like a bridge between worlds, the very essence of what connected them to their grandmother. Why do you want it? She asked, her voice steady despite the unease knotting her insides. It's part of something much bigger, the woman replied, stepping closer. A guide, a map of sorts. It leads to what brought us here. To a history that connects us all. Sounds like a fairy tale, Max scoffed, still clinging tightly to Emma's arm. Maybe it does, the woman said, her tone softening, but it's real. Our lives depend on it. Emma glanced at Sam, who didn't look convinced. What do you mean? Sam pressed, wary but intrigued. The woman hesitated, glancing back at her group. The tension in the room felt electric, every heartbeat a countdown. All Emma could think about was the weight of the book still resting on the table, its pages filled with stories and recipes, but what else lay hidden among the lines? Suddenly, another loud crash echoed outside the diner. Everyone flinched. The intruders seemed more rattled than they let on. Whatever is happening out there, Sam said firmly, we need to know you're not a threat. The group exchanged nervous glances, and then the woman took a deep breath. We'll prove it. If you allow us to explain, you'll see it's not all bad. Emma felt a spark of uncertainty. Could they trust these strangers? What if they were after more than just the book? But a deeper instinct nudged her forward. Just tell us the truth. The woman nodded, her face serious. Our families are linked through this diner's history and the recipes in that book. It's not just a collection of family secrets, it's a map to something buried. Something important that your grandmother protected. Laura gasped softly. What do you mean? What's buried? Something that could change everything for both our families, the woman replied, urgency in her voice. The more we wait, the more danger we're in. We don't have much time, and they'll be coming for it. Emma's heart raced as the gravity of the situation settled in. Her grandmother's stories had always been magical, filled with secrets and love, but what if they were also a warning? Should we really trust them? Max whispered, his voice barely a breath. Emma squeezed his arm reassuringly. We have to, she said, her mind racing as she pieced together snippets of tales from her childhood, all leading to this moment. The newcomers shifted uneasily, and time hung heavy in the air. Emma could practically feel the ground beneath her quaking with the weight of their choices. Would unraveling the mystery behind the book lead them to a treasure or a curse? All right, Emma finally said, her voice resonating with resolve. We'll listen. But you have to tell us everything. As they began piecing together the remnants of a shared past, another noise echoed from outside, sharper and more insistent than before. Something told Emma that the clock was ticking, that time was running out. What if it's not safe? Laura whispered, her eyes wide with apprehension. Then we'll face it together, Emma said, feeling the threads of courage weaving through their group, binding them closer in a growing storm of the unknown. As they leaned in closer, an unexpected flash of movement caught Emma's eye from the doorway. A shadow lurked outside, watching them. It was time to discover if they would stand united against what was coming next or if fear would tear them apart. Who's out there? Emma shouted, her voice trembling but defiant. This time, the answer came not from the shadows but from deep within the whispers of the book. What was waiting to be unleashed, and would they be prepared to face the truth? Emma's heart was racing, the air in the diner thick with anxiety. As she stared at the ominous shadow in the doorway, she felt a wave of resolve wash over her. The weight of their lives seemed to hang on this moment. Every heartbeat echoed in her ears. Stay behind me, Sam urged, taking a half-step forward, his gaze locked on the door. Emma felt a mix of fear and admiration for him, a protector in a time filled with unknowns. The tall woman with the piercing blue eyes moved swiftly to join Sam, standing poised beside him. We're all in this together, she said, her voice firm. But we need to act fast. The group outside stirred, unintelligible mutters floating in from the night air. Emma strained to catch any words that could hint at the danger they faced. Nothing but disjointed sounds, like a bad radio signal. What do we do? Max clutched Emma's arm tighter, his knuckles white. Wait, Emma whispered, not sure if they should run or stand their ground. If they're looking for the book, we can't just hand it over. What if it means something more than it seems? Suddenly, the door swung open again, and a gust of wind rushed in, causing the diner lights to flicker. A tall figure stepped through, a man with a rough stubble and dark eyes that darted around the room, gauging the atmosphere. He was followed by another, then another, each adding to the sense of encroaching dread. Where is it? The man demanded, voice low and threatening, a tone that demanded compliance. Who are you? Emma replied, forcing the question out despite her growing fear. The first man laughed coldly. Does it matter? We just want what's ours. His gaze flicked to the group at the table. You're in over your heads. Emma's pulse quickened. What do you know about the book? The book is just the beginning. His expression darkened. Hand it over, and no one has to get hurt. That's not happening, Sam interjected, stepping forward. You need to leave. The air was electric, charged with tension. Emma watched as the woman from the group of newcomers shifted closer to Sam, clearly ready to act if necessary. We can't let them take it, she said, her voice low and intense. Please, just listen to me. Time is running out. They'll stop at nothing to find it. Why should we trust you? Max challenged, fear lacing his voice. Emma's heart ached at the doubts swirling among them. This wasn't just about the book, it felt like a fight to protect their family legacy, to uphold everything their grandmother had stood for. Because it's the only way we'll be safe. Suddenly, a loud crash broke through the moment, pulling their focus. The shadows outside shifted, and more figures emerged, their intentions clear and hostile, the menacing energy flooding the diner with dread. Now! Emma shouted, her instincts kicking in. If we want to keep the book safe, we need to protect it. The newcomers surrounded her, ready to form a barricade. Sam motioned for everyone to get close together, urgency in his voice as he set a plan in motion. Stick together. We'll find a way out through the back. Emma, what if they've got it covered? Max's voice trembled, the fear evident. Emma didn't have an answer, but her resolve was strong. I want to let them take it. Not without a fight. As the group braced for a confrontation, Emma felt a flicker of hope stirring within her. The adventures of her childhood, the stories woven into the fabric of that very book, it felt like magic was wrapping around them, urging them to stand firm. On 3. Sam announced, determination etched on his face. 1-2. In that moment, Emma's eyes darted to the book lying ominously on the table. Its pages flickered slightly as if the hidden secrets within were waking to defend themselves. 3. Sam shouted, and they moved, ready to face whatever unknown lurked in wait. But just as they turned towards the door, a sudden shout pierced through the air, a voice that carried both dread and a spark of recognition. Emma! Wait! You don't know what you're doing. Her heart stopped. The voice was familiar, too familiar, sending chills down her spine. Mom? Emma breathed. Her heart lodged in her throat as she turned, realizing the stakes in ways she hadn't imagined. What was she about to uncover that would shatter everything she thought she knew? The diner's atmosphere felt charged, heavy with realization and emotion. Emma's heart raced, a tangled mess of fear and hope colliding as she faced the familiar figure in the doorway. Her mother, eyes wide and filled with a mixture of worry and determination, stepped forward. Emma! She called again, urgency lacing her words. Please, don't risk everything. You don't understand. What do you mean, Mom? Emma's voice trembled as she struggled to comprehend the gravity of the situation. The book, with its hidden stories and deep-rooted family legacy, lay perched on the table like a time bomb, ready to explode with secrets. Step away from the door, please, Sam said firmly, ready to shield Emma and Max from whatever came next. The group behind him bristled with tension, waiting for the potential clash. No. You don't get it. Emma's mom pleaded, glancing at each person in the room, searching for understanding. That book, it's more than a recipe collection. It's our past, yes, but it could also draw the wrong people to us. People who want to take control of what your grandmother protected. Why didn't you tell us? Emma felt anger and betrayal boiling beneath her surface. You kept this from us? I had to. I thought we could bury it, and it would be enough, her mom reasoned, desperation echoing in her voice. But the truth has a way of surfacing, huh? As the tension in the room thickened, Emma felt as if time was standing still. The revelation twisted within her, the heartache tangled with confusion. Is that why we lost Grandma? Did she hide all of this to protect us? Shh! Sam whispered fiercely, trying to maintain the calm. We need to focus. If there's danger coming from outside, now is not the time to panic. Max squeezed Emma's hand tighter, his small body trembling. Mom, will we be okay? He asked, eyes shining with innocence, waiting for reassurance amidst the chaos. Emma knelt down to look into his wide, worried eyes. We're family, Max. That means we'll stick together no matter what. Her voice was steadier than she felt. She's right, Laura added quietly, gently placing a hand on Emma's shoulder. It was a reminder of the bond that had rekindled throughout this journey. This isn't just about the book. It's about all of us. We can fight for our past and future together. A sudden loud creak echoed from the back of the diner, a dark omen of the ominous choice they had to make. Emma's heart raced as the group of strangers pushed forward, their eyes flickering greedily between her and the book, sensing the tension and uncertainty. "We can't let them take it," the tall woman said firmly, stepping closer to Emma's mom. "It's our history too. But they'll come for it. They won't stop. What do we do?" Emma knew they had to make a choice. The book held secrets that could either strengthen or break their bonds. "We can face them together, right? It's our family legacy." Her mom nodded, but uncertainty still clouded her face. "If we choose to protect the book, we'll need to keep its secrets safe. I believe we can uncover the truth without letting it fall into the wrong hands," Sam added, eyeing the growing faction outside. "Knowledge is power. Just remember, trust each other." The atmosphere shifted, fear brimming with determination. They would stand together, united by the love of family that flowed through every recipe, every story, and every memory that Grandma had carefully protected over years of laughter and warmth. "All right, let us do it," Emma cried, infusing her voice with a thrill of resolve, igniting the courage in the others. "We are ready to face whatever comes our way." Together, they set their plan into motion. They secured the back door, using old furniture and boxes as barricades. As they prepared, the sense of togetherness surged through them like a tidal wave, pushing back the shadows of doubt. "Stay close," Sam whispered, motioning to everyone to gather around. "The shadows might be darker than we think, but we can be the light that breaks through." Standing side by side, Emma felt the strength of their unity. No longer just a collection of individuals, they had become a family, ready to defend themselves against threats lurking in the dark. The crashing of the door suddenly echoed again, but this time, there was strength behind it. With a fierce resolve, Emma prepared for whatever awaited them, embracing the unknown with open arms. "Whatever happens, we'll face it together," she declared, feeling her heart swell with determination. The night ahead stretched out freckled with uncertainty, but as the shadows crept closer, they knew one thing for sure: they had each other. And nothing could take that bond away. The answer to their family's legacy waited just beyond that door, and Emma felt a surge of hope wash over her as she took a tentative step forward. The story wasn't over. It had just begun. It was time to unveil the truth, and nothing would stop them now. "Before the chapter closes, there is something I need to ask you. If you love this journey, you need to subscribe immediately to keep these heartwarming stories flowing. Hit that button right now. You won't want to miss what's next. Also, tap that like button now to help us keep the magic alive with the algorithm. Seriously, it makes a difference, and don't forget to comment below with your feelings about this ending. Your thoughts are so important to us. Lastly, share this video with at least 5 friends who need a little inspiration in their lives. Don't wait not even one more second. It's time to show your support and spread the love.